My name is David, and I live in Northern California, and I love California. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the benefits of decluttering. I spent the last 2 days, I had them off, so I spent the last 2 days really building up my YouTube loft, I like to call it. It was a loft that was just full of stuff, and I'm just slowly going through it. I'm buying picture frames and putting a lot of my posters up on the wall that are posters of my Batmobiles, and getting rid of a lot of clutter and just things that I've had that, like, why do I have this? I don't even know why I have it. And I've gotten everything that a lot of Lamborghini parts that I have, they're real Lamborghini parts, but I have those in a box all by themselves. And like I had some disc brakes for a Fiera that is set up to put Corvette brakes on it. I still have that, and but I didn't need the big box that it came in, so I really tried to declutter that part of it. So it's nice to be able to declutter, and I wanted to talk today the benefits of decluttering. So the first benefit that I come into is just peace of mind. I mean, there's so many things that I have there that I haven't looked at, and if I can get rid of it, it's just going to make it easier if something were to happen to me in the future. Somebody doesn't have to sit there and just go through all of it. And what is expensive, what's not expensive. Thought about putting some labels on it so that people would know what they are, and then that way they would be able to list it on eBay if that's what they want to do, and maybe get a general idea of what the price would be. And I could probably look that up and then write it all down, put it on a label right on the actual item, and I think that would be pretty cool to do. Another benefit of decluttering is going down memory lane. So I ended up running into some stuff that I hadn't seen for years. I mean, I'm talking probably 15 years. They were in boxes, and I had to look at them really close and think, what is that? I even have something on my finger right here. It says 55 Chevy, and I got that ring when I was at Epcot Center, and there was a guy there in Mexico town, and as you walk around the lake, there's one place it's Mexico, and he made that right on a wheel right in front of us. And at the time, I was really into 55 Chevys, and so I wanted to get one, I wanted to own one, and I wanted to drive one, and so I just said 55 Chevy, and then he wrote it into this ring. I dipped it in my cleaning fluid that I have, and it did a pretty good job on it. But I think I've got to take some stuff to a jeweler, so I might just throw that in there and ask him if he can buff it up and clean it up a little bit. Um, I don't know why I liked it, but I showed it to my wife, and I've been wearing it yesterday and also today. So it was just a simpler time, when I was back in that time. I didn't have a lot of car parts, and I remember I actually put money down on a car, maybe like $500 down on it was a 56 Chevy, and trying to get financing on it. And then I figured out that you can't get financing on these cars. So, or at least at the time, I had to actually join a bank, and the bank's not even around anymore. It was a credit union, and I had really good income, good credit, and everything, but they said, "Nah, we don't really lend on older vehicles like that." And I'm like, "You just wasted all my time," and I ended up losing the $500. But I told the people, "Thank you for holding it for me while I try to figure this out." When I went in there, they initially said, "Oh yeah, sounds really good. Yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, and so that's what made me put the deposit down to hold it. And I wish I would have gotten it, but it hasn't been something that's so great to me that I want to go get one. So anyway, that's another benefit, I guess, is going down memory lane. And then the last thing that was a benefit for me of decluttering was it gave me an opportunity to get all my Christmas stuff that we had. And we have a ton of Christmas stuff. I'm talking maybe 45 boxes full of stuff. but I actually was able to get a bunch of it all wrapped up. I took it out of the loft that we have up there, which is a pretty big room, and it's in my bedroom. And I plan on putting it up into the attic. I have storage up there. It's a little hard because of my arthritis, but I did want to get it all up there. And so it's nice to get that whole loft area cleaned out. Even my wife commented on how nice it was. I go, well, it's all in our bedroom right now, but at least it's ready to go up. So that's good. So I think it's important to declutter. I know I've got to go through some clothes and stuff. My closet is just bulging with things. Some of it is because people keep buying me stuff, shirts and all this other stuff, and I need to get rid of some stuff before I bring more stuff in there. But I'll usually go through my closet, and anything that I haven't wore in like a year, then I'll just put it in a pile. And then normally I end up giving it to a welder friend of mine, and we wear the same size. So that's what I normally do. So that's the benefits of decluttering. I've got boxes and boxes and boxes. I did get rid of a couple of boxes. I combined some boxes. I got it more organized. So I'm going to put some labels on there so I know what is in there, and I'll also label some of the parts as if somebody was going to look at it and I'm not around to be there to look at it with them. So maybe I can get some of my Lamborghini stuff labeled, and then they'll be able to know what I have there if something were to happen to me. Ideally, I'll get to the point where I can just say, you know what, I'm not going to build it, or I end up selling the car body that I have, and then that way, well, I don't need these parts. I can sell them because I have rims and everything to sell also. So I keep saying I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet, but I do need to focus on getting something on eBay just to get that started again. Last time I had a lot of support from my youngest son. We actually did a lot of it together, and he did a lot of listing of it himself. So of course that did not help me, because I didn't learn as well as I should have. I did the mailing of everything and the tracking of it, so that was good. But it was pretty having somebody help you out. There's pros and cons to it. The con is that you don't really learn what you need to learn. So I'm going to have to put a couple items on there. I have to be okay with the fact that I may not end up making any money on it, but at least I will have sold it. I do remember going to the restaurant, and I would just be sitting there, and all of a sudden, bing, it would ring saying that the auction had ended and somebody had bought this or bought that. And I think we made like $20,000 together, and we split it 10,000 each. So that was pretty. So I'm really trying to figure out a lot of this stuff. In fact, I had an issue yesterday on my GoPro. Could not get it to download through the computer, but I finally figured it out. It was a pretty tough problem too, and I spent a lot of time downloading and deleting some of the videos that I had taken. So that was nice to be able to figure something out like that. And I'm gonna have to do that with my eBay. But I've got everything set up, perfect place to do it and everything, but I just did not get around to it. But I need to do it before things get too busy, because right now uh, we kind of slowed down on the leads. So I've got to do all the stuff while I have time to do it. And some of the stuff I've enjoyed, is putting a lot of my posters into the pictures. And I'll take a picture of that room or a video of the room, because it's coming out really nice. And it does give me just a really big, a large amount of satisfaction. But thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Subscribe if you can, and I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you much. Bye-bye.